Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Like I said, never mind me. Checking these pages, see if we live on Facebook. Make sure YouTube is working as well. Let's see, where my YouTube people at? Just say hello if you there. That's how we test it. Okay, looks good. And we are live. Okay, looks good. Checks out. Holla if you can hear me. Mr. Camera Junkie, what's going on? I see you. My real name. Wait, that's a lot to read. My real name is made up. There we go. Okay. Dude, I'm trying to get it. Keeping them. Look, check it out. I think I got my mics all ready. Kill this music real quick. How do I kill my music? Where's my music at? All right, get this button here. I got my music beds on here, and let's see. Okay, good. Got that. Figured out how to kill it. So, a couple things I'm just going to drop on my tech people. This is some good news. So, I literally had to run a, never mind my shorts. It was just a little hot. I literally had to, I wanted to be able to sit over here with folks, family, stuff like that, and to be able to control the eCam that's over there. And mind you, on this desk right now, I do not have a keyboard. Notice this, Mr. Camera Junkie. See that? I don't have a keyboard over here. No keyboard. And so I'm actually running this, and it's actually like a long cord. Power bill. No, Rob, it's not bad at all, because I don't run a lot of electricity over here. It's neon lights, you know what I'm saying? The regular, digital lights, whatever, hue light bulbs, keep them down. Soft boxes run, they're, digital, so we're good. But notice, I don't have the actual keyboard on the desk. So you like that table? Okay, table was looking good. The conversation we had about your setup, yes, coming to fruition right after you left. Right after you left out of here, you and Aiden left. I literally wrapped the chair up, got rid of it, and my neighbor finished this table. So check it out. You can see it from this angle. We got the Orange River in there. It's got the camera sitting on the desk. My black Santa Claus over here is chilling. But nonetheless, I got this set up, and so for my eCam community and anybody watching on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, Clementine, I see you. My cousin Clementine is there. I'm gonna show you Mr. Camera Junkie, Rob, and the rest of the crew. Notice how I'm reading everybody's comments up here. I needed to set this up so that when people are sitting at the table over here, they're able to see. Like Tina can't have see. So I need to put big words on the screen so she can see. And we can communicate with the audience as well as communicate at the table. Swivel chairs over here so that everybody can turn back and forth to one another. And the crazy thing is, check this out, people. All the mics are on. So this is crazy. I got the two at the desk muted over here, right? These two are muted over here, but all of these mics are on. And so what I'm going to do with eCam that's crazy is I am going to ISO record the host at an angle here, and then we'll ISO the people over there. So it's only two, so we can ISO those, and then I can run this here. Corinthia, what's going on, sis? Good to see you there. So, right, you see that, Mr. Camera Junkie, with the big comments. So notice that here. I can't give you a zoom in on it because it's a lot to try to do. But to be able to see the comments over there, this is going to be interesting because I'm going to have 4 ladies at the table. So it's going to be the convo setup that's kind of like, the talk. Okay. So I got my 4 ladies at the table. Host will be right here. And I'm going to have to probably like drag drop a camera over there for Dr. Jackson over here, and we're going to record this in full quality, and we're going to be on radio hosting live at the same time. So anybody that's on Facebook of that community, if you're not following Dr. Virgia Jackson, you need to follow her. My other mother, Mom Dale, is going to be in the house. And so, Mr. Camera Junkie, this is one of them situations where you have like 4 women that's not tech. And so, you kind of got to get them in here, let them be comfortable, let them talk at the table. But here's the best part. Y'all ready for this? Rob, check it out. This mic is already on. So if somebody's sitting here, this mic is already lit and it's on. And notice how much we don't have this bleed. So that's what I did, Mr. Camera Junkie. I got a USB extension for the Stream Deck, but it needs power to it, okay? That'll preach already. See, Mr. Camera Junkie, you always get me, Lewis, you get me preaching too early. So the Stream Deck, to run it from over there around to here, the cord is so long, it has to be powered. The issue is when you get a powered USB, the majority of them have the power in the middle of it. So the good news was I had to plug in the power behind the Rodecaster over here. And then I got like 10 feet going that way and some like 10 feet or 15 and 15, going, or maybe it's just 10, but I got it wrapped around there. And the power goes there and it wraps around here. And this thing works like a champ. See that? I'm switching over here. So 2 Stream Decks. One Stream Deck is sitting right here. The other one is over there on the desk. And because they're separate, I kind of mirrored them, but I kind of tweaked them so that I can do certain things over here on the desk. So thank you for everybody that's watching. I'm really just testing this out for the people that's coming in, and look forward to the new year. I will have guests that will come in-house, in studio. I just got to find a place to keep Mr. Santa Claus here. Santa Claus, go straight to the gate. So Mr. Santa Claus is over here. Notice his mic is on. Say something. All right, just let him, make some noise. See that? So his mic is on. Then this other mic is on. All of these mics are on, and now with the silence and sound thing on here, we're all gravy. So I can just go from here and over to this one right here. So when the people are talking, and shout out to Elgato for these wonderful stands. It's not taking up too much space on the desk, but it's doing exactly what it needs to do. All right. Now, my Ecamm people, any questions, let me know. It is possible to do it. I'm running this stuff into Rodecaster Pro, but secret sauce, Mr. Camera Junkie was here. He saw it into the Apollo, and I just have these mics tweaked so that they match the sound of my 2 SM7Bs over at the desk. But now we are just about ready for Tina to come on up in here. Listen, folks, you got Otis Winston in the comment section. If y'all see that name Otis and you're not following him, you need to follow him. Don't become his friend once he gets this superstar role coming out. He's on SWAT. If you don't watch SWAT, many of you ladies, y'all are all over the light-skinned dude, but he's on SWAT and he's an officer in the show. So check him out. And none other than Mr. Otis Winston. That is my brother from another mother. We met, and hopefully maybe you can come here when Jill comes to Philly, when she does her reunion tour from the first album. But Otis and I, we met out at Jill Scott's in Tennessee. We had a wonderful time meeting one another, and we've been brothers ever since. So shout out to you, Chris. Thank you, man. It took me a while to put this together, and this is kind of like my way of introducing, video, podcasts, whatever, however I want to set it up. I'm a people person. Because I'm a people person, I love people. Shout out to Rashad Grove, who just refuses to come visit the Pelzers. I don't know what his hatred is towards us or whatever, but I was hanging out with him and his beautiful, lovely wife and their 2 daughters today. But he went to Princeton, so I guess he can't come visit the Pelzers, you know what I'm saying, and jump on here. And because he's big time and he interviews, stars and, big league people. That's the guy you want to meet, Otis. So one day maybe he'll, throw an interview on you and, dig into some stuff that you're doing. He just big time. Shout out to Rashad Grove. Carla, what's going on? Melvin, what's going on? Good to see you. And see, Mr. Camera Junkie, you like it? Sounds great. I'm glad. Donna Jordan, I see you. No, I don't sleep. I got to keep going, So it took me a while to really tweak this. And so for those people who have Rodecaster Pro, this is basically just running into a Soyuz box. There's something on my Instagram where I show that. And each mic is running into a box by itself. After it goes into that box, they go into the Rodecaster Pro. Once it hits the Rodecaster Pro, it's just left and right out, and it wraps right around into the Apollo. In the Apollo, we have this sound. Yeah, the camera's moving by itself. The sound basically pops down. What's going on, Felix? Listen, Felix, I need you and Rashad at the table at the same time. Who the big time repels? No, shut up, man. I only hang with the little people. Shut up, man. I need you back over here, man. You know how we do, okay? We got the same haircut, all right? And we got nice beards. We put Brian Pittman at the table as well. And Rashad Grove will be the only one with hair on his head at the table. The rest of us will all be looking alike with the beards and the bald head. We can sit down at this table and talk. It's ready, fellas. See that? Felix, I told you I was going to be ready, and I'm ready, bro. Here it is. Okay, so you let me know when you coming by. Rashad, you want to see the camera's moving by itself? That's the camera that's moving by itself. That's the picture that is given. I had it set because I was supposed to be sitting over here, but I moved over here just to make an example. Mr. Camera Junkie, Rob Viles. So again, we're good if I move over to, let's go back to the desk. So no matter where you move, oh, this mic is a little different. I don't know what I did different to this mic. Y'all notice the difference in the sound? So I don't know if it's because, wait, testing 1, 2. Okay, testing 1, 2. Okay, there we go. It's the same. So this mic is on here. So we'll have 4 people at the table and the other person will sit there. The challenge was just the camera. So the angle for that person over here is boom. So whoever's sitting over here, we got an ISO record on them. Ken and Glenn have killed this thing. I love it. We put an ISO record on somebody over there, and then we get the main camera right here or right here. So that'll be our 3 camera records. And we're going to see how this works. So I'm excited about Thursday. Make sure that you tune in. This is going to be a wonderful podcast or radio show on Thursday with Dr. Virdra Jackson. If you want to know what it's going to be, check her out. Her name is Dr. Virdra Jackson, and you want to follow her. And then I'm going to basically push it through my page as well, because I'm excited about this setup, because in 2023, I want to get back to having conversations. I was asked a question about what I see doing, like going forward. And one of the struggles that I have with, with pastoring and preaching and all of that in church, I think that we don't have enough conversation. Okay. And so the thing is, okay, Melvin, I got you. I don't think that we have enough conversation. And I think we talk a lot. Everybody talks a lot. Shoot, I talk a lot. So don't feel bad. Anybody that run their mouth a lot. I do a lot of talking, but the thing that happens is we don't have the conversation that we need to have. So it's kind of like, you ever talk to somebody and you talk for like a whole hour, but you never get down to discussing what you really need to discuss. We kind of keep beating around the bush. And so I want to have those conversations. I want to expand the conversations that are never expanded within conversation. By example of that, I want to talk about, churches that things are working, things are not working, relationships that are working, relationships that are not working, trying to find the signs of where is it going left at? And are we having too much of the conversation in the wrong direction? Or are we being real about this ain't working? Okay. Or this is what we need to do to fix it. We'll talk about stuff like that on the tech side. And I'm going to touch on what Melvin's talking about. So Melvin, I like what you're saying. So why are you running the Rodecaster Pro into Apollo instead of as a separate monitor source? All right, let me see if I can understand your question. So why are you okay? I'm trying to follow you, bro. Okay, into the Apollo instead of using it as a separate monitor source into the Apollo. Why are you running the Rodecaster Pro? Okay, so here's the thing. If you take the Rodecaster Pro, these mics over here, you split your input into Ecamm. And so that everybody's going into Ecamm as just one, and I'm not eating up the second thing or complicating the matter. All my sound is consistent going into the Apollo because I want the Apollo sound on these mics. The Rodecaster Pro is not going to give you the same quality as the Apollo. And so in order to get my noise cancellation, like right now, my wife could be in the other room running the vacuum cleaner, but because I'm running C-Suite, you know the Apollo, Melvin, because I'm running C-Suite, Tube Tech, I can't tell you the other thing I'm running, and I'm running something else. So I got 4 things popping off in the channel strip. And so what I did was, I took in with the Soyuz boxes, I got each mic individual running into a Soyuz box, right? And so you see where I'm going. You see where I'm going. Aaron Draper, what's going on, Drape? Okay, James Jacobs, I'll answer your question. Drake, what's going on? I hope you're in town. If you're not in town, safe travels, my brother. But Melvin, so the thing is, I was running the SM7Bs, and you see those SM7Bs right here. I can't pull in the shot, but the orange and yellow mic, those two were going into over on that desk. It was the Apollo Twin, right? And so the thing is, got you. You're simplifying it now. Exactly. That's where we're going, bro. So you are using the Rodecaster Pro as a mixer for extra channels into the Apollo. Yes. But the thing is, what I'm actually doing, Melvin, if you need to do this, I'm kind of cheating it because I don't have the Apollo 8, right? If I had the Apollo 8, then everything would be on its own channel into the Apollo system. But because I only have the 4 channel, I got the 2 mics on the desk, 1 and 2, and then I have the sub mix from out of the Rodecaster Pro into a stereo, and I'm running a duplicate of the channels that I have on the individual mics to match the whole sound. So technically, if I get my behind up and go over here to the desk, even though they're SM7Bs, they're pretty much going to sound the same. So the radio show that we use, Dr. Jackson and I, the radio show, they can't really tell the difference, and they're kind of shocked that we have these small ones. You feel where I'm going, bro? Like the challenge where we studio guys, right? Game recognized game, Mel. So my challenge was, I'm not going to buy like 4 more SM7Bs. That's just too much, right? Or it kind of doesn't make sense, right? It's redundant, and the mic is bigger. And a lot of women, when they're talking, we don't want to put too much of a microphone in their face. Now, me at the desk, I'm cool. But women aren't going to want too much of a microphone in their face. And so because this has a smaller footprint, the problem is, theoretically, people are going to say SM7B is a better mic than the MV. But I'm that kind of guy that's going to say, hey, where there's a will, there's a way, and we're going to make a star out of whatever we got. Okay, you see that right there. Selfish plug. But the thing is, I got in here and I said, how do I make this mic sound as good as those mics? And it was really all in the Apollo, as we know. And so that's what I did. I just basically used the same channels. So it's kind of like back in the studio, if somebody takes the Neumann 67 and you got an 87. Well, if you put it through the Tube Tech and the Avalon or whatever, you pretty much kind of can get the same sound, except for Bruce Wadeen that would know the difference between, oh, that's not technically that mic, or it's a C414. All right, enough said on that. My brother Aaron, I actually miss you, bro, okay? And you were doing your thing. We want to get musician shows. So Aaron Draper, everybody just tell Aaron Draper to make sure that he comes past here, because I want to sit you at the table as well, bro. I want to sit you at the table and, maybe let's have some discussions about what's going on with musicians and the life on the road and working with artists and stuff like that. Because the power of Ecamm that we're using, like right now, what I'm doing right now, I'm ISO recording 2 other cameras, okay, we got two other cameras popping off at the same time, right? And they're being recorded. So this angle right here is a whole separate recording that I can use. It's only going to be in 1080 HD, right? And then we have that angle that's going to be recorded. So if somebody was sitting over there, so Santa Claus right here is being recorded on his own channel. And then right here, this is being recorded. So now we can reuse this and, basically put any kind of video together that we want. And this is all set up in-house, push of a button, it's streaming to multi-channels, and we're good to go. Yes, Aaron, I miss you too, bro. It's this, I'm back on January 1st, the 1st of January. Let's make it happen. That's it. You just show up, man. That's it. And listen, another reason why I'm saying this, and it's not to scare nobody, Aaron, you know what I'm talking about. The blessing was that I just took the chance and did this, and we have a whole live interview with the late Paris Bowens and Smurf, and then Brian Moore calling in, and we talking about Funyuns on the road with Smurf. We got to really value the time. It's something that my boy Rashad Grove will say. We got to just push the button and get it, like get the fellowship. Okay. And so we can't wait around until everybody just get back in town and show up on Sunday morning or whatever. Yo, we got time during the week just hanging out. Shout out to Man, who invited me down to a awesome rehearsal that Aaron Drake was at. Rashid, Man, they're killing the E-Watt on the bass. They were with a group out of Canada. What's the name of the group? You can type it in there. I forget the name of the group, but awesome group. And I had a good time just hanging out with the brothers, right? And then everybody's dispersed again out on the road. But I want to provide a space that we can sit down, we can chat. Spanky's in town. Spanky's supposed to hit me back. He ain't hit me back. I'll creep up on him somewhere. I know where to find him at. At the time tomorrow, it's going to be a jam session. The musicians are doing their thing. Shout out to my cousin, Lil Daryl, just doing what he doing. Chromeo, that's it. Chromeo, that's the crew right there. Antonio, is that a slider? No, it's actually a jib. So this thing right here is a jib. It's moving around. It's I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can show it to you. So it's kind of hard to see from this angle on your camera. The funny thing is I don't even have a angle. Okay, you can see it moving on the side of this camera right here. It is actually a jib. So a slider is more preferred, but the jib actually helps me to be able to demonstrate certain things I need to show in the room. So let's just say if I needed to show this the camera on the desk. So if you look at my page, anybody that's out there right now, I just put up a picture. And a couple of photographers are asking me about the picture. Okay, I need you to stop. Okay, so this jib right here has the ability to turn. So now I can face me over here. And if I'm talking about the camera, shout out to Edelkrone, where I put my camera on these legs here. And that's how I get my low shots. I take the camera, put it on the ground, get a level, you get it close enough to the ground, and you get your up shot. And that's the picture of me in front of the truck. Now, I can save this right now. I can save where it's at, the position of it here. And then let's just say I wanted to show you the Rodecaster Pro. So I'm going to show you the Rodecaster Pro because Melvin was talking about it. And that's where the four mics are running into. That's the Rodecaster Pro. Now, I'll save that. Let me delete this one scene. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and show you where, this is for Melvin. This is where the mics are plugged in at over here on the floor. Shout out to my neighbor, Jeff Trolley, who made this table for me. So right there you have it. All right, never mind my Crocs, but right here, each mic is running into there. So the four mics are going into here, and they wrap around the wall. Now watch this here. I'm going to save that, and we want to get the jib. It's going to point back up to the Rodecaster Pro. I could have hit it double time, but that's the reason why I like a jib a little bit more, because it can, rise up, move around. And if we hit this double tap, she's going to jump back up to my face over here. So if I'm talking and I'm trying to demonstrate blah, 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 whatever, I'm at the table, I can double tap and, say, okay, over here, the Rodecaster Pro X, Y, and Z. And then over here, see this? Boom. There. Now I'm showing you these Soyuz boxes that, that's running a mic into it. Okay. So I hope that helps. And Antonio, I hope that actually helps and that answered your question. But yeah, I've been a jib person since trying to preach online to kind of give movement so that, the sermons weren't born in one spot and then the sliders just only going back and forth. So a jib kind of gives you a little bit more of that up and down movement, cinematic tone, so that the stories that you're talking about out the Bible don't get boring to people, and you kind of add a little emphasis on it. And then with Ecamm, you switch the cameras and move it around a little bit to make it more like a live production. That's just kind of like one of those things that I like to do. If there are no more questions, I think I've tested the setup. I like it. I like where it's going. Do I have y'all approval? You like the setup? You digging it? I think my neighbor did a great job with this table. How about it? Okay. Now, for the 20 people that's still here, I want to drop something on you because I'm charged in my spirit to do this. And I want to give a perspective. I'm kind of known for these perspectives, and I want to drop something else on you on perspective. Does this camera focus on me? I'll make sure it's focused. Okay, James Jacobs. Okay, you wanted to know about the cameras. All right, let me do the camera thing real quick. So, James, what is your question about the cameras? Give me your question, and I got you. All right, Damon, what's going on? Good to see you. Melvin, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate 10 out of 10. All right, it's awesome. Thank you. My real name is made up. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. I'm teasing. Drop your question, bro. James, drop your question that you wanted to ask specifically. Is it just what kind of cameras? Let me know. Okay, want to know how many you are using, or are you using Ecamm? So here's the thing. I'm using Ecamm. Every camera is into the Ecamm, is in the computer and in the Ecamm by way of cam links. Okay, it's by way of cam links. What I have is I kind of got carried away because I had a vision in mind. Okay, this is the thing. It wasn't just gas. We call it gear acquisition syndrome, but it was because I had a vision in mind. And I was always a fan of talk shows, table talks or whatever, and even the news, knowing newscaster reporters and stuff. And, having to live stream because of COVID and, being on Zooms pre-COVID and just recording stuff, a video, you want more than one angle recording it. And so once we went live, my vision on it was I don't just want to put one camera there and you just see four people just sitting here. So to get to answering your question, yes, I have multiple cameras. And what I did was, because I had to do sermon at home, I thought about when you watch a church broadcast, you watch a TV show, you don't just look at one camera. It's like they kind of give you different angles so you feel like you're kind of in the room. And so I kind of got my lighting stuff together, and then I got multiple cameras. I really only had two, then I went to three. And then because I had two people at the desk, you had one on one person, one on the other, and then one on both. That was three. Then it came down to, let's kind of give that radio, interview room to show pull people in the studio and give them a different angle. So you got stuff going on, you're talking, you're showing stuff, let them in. So to answer your question, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally just 6 cameras, and then there's this camera here is because I was doing like product instructions, kind of showing people unpackaging and stuff like that, which you can do with an overhead cam, but you kind of want the camera to be able to move with you and do production shots, right? Or storytelling. And so those are the cameras that I have. Now, to answer something else, so you want to know how many you're using, and are you using Ecamm? I'm going to take your or for and. Yes, it's in Ecamm. The reason why I like Ecamm is because you can just put so many things around. Like, for example, I'll just do one thing. If you wanted to see me here, but also wanted to show you another shot, we can do this, and then we can put that camera overlay over there. So now you see two different angles right now. So if I had another person in the room and that person was talking, we can do this over here and you have yet another angle. We can change that at the same time. So let's move that camera and say, make it do that. So if there was somebody over here, you see Santa Claus in this picture, we can see Santa Claus over there. If a guest calls in, you can throw them on the screen as well. And that's the power of Ecamm. You can do this with stuff like OBS and different stuff, but like you won't be able to do that with like a StreamYard with the control in your hand. And so that's the reason why I got turned on to Ecamm. I liked it. I've been using it ever since. The production quality, once I'm done this broadcast, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, but I have it right on my computer in full quality. I'm looking, okay, in full quality, I have it on my computer. So you can repurpose all of this stuff. So again, I hope that answers your question. So yes, I'm using Ecamm, but I'm curious to know the type of cameras. The quality is crazy. So, Ken, what's going on, brother? Thank you. So James, here's the thing that I'll say to you. We've been going through this for a long time, since 2020. And what we do in our Ecamm community is we have this back and forth. So in one sense, you'll have people, oh, I got a Canon. I think Canons are great. Okay, if you've been shooting with Canon, you have it, and you in the pandemic, and you're like, okay, I need to stream with my camera, and you got a Canon that can do it. I don't think Canon's better than Sony in that sense. Now, better is relative. I'm a Sony guy, so Sony is better to me because I use Sony. But if I had Canon, I think I would kick behind with a Canon camera as well, because that's just what I do. I'm gonna make the color look great, and then people say, "Hey, your setup looks great. What are you using?" I'm gonna say Canon, and then some Sony people will be pissed off. So let me simplify this for you. This right here on the desk, and you're familiar with cameras. This is a full frame camera. It's an A7 IV, right? And by the time I got this, I hooked it up to stream. And then it really dawned on me, I'm not going to get a better picture to push through through Ecamm just because this is an A7 and it's a full frame camera and full frame lens and it's got the 7200 on there. Whatever. Because guess what? The camera right here that I'm gonna show you, this right here camera is I got it for $300 and it has a kit lens on it. And if that's all I had to sit in front of me, you wouldn't be able to say that the quality is bad, right? If I sat it up over here and put the same Sigma lens that's on this camera right here. Okay, so now the only difference I can tell you, this is a 1.8 up here. Mr. Camera Junkie, you in the comment section, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You've been here. So I have a 16 millimeter right here, and these are 30 millimeters, right? So that's why I'm a little bit bigger here, because it's a 30 millimeter. But the key ingredient, I'm gonna tell everybody this, is study your lighting first, right? If you don't look good in your room to your phone, you're not really going to look good no matter what kind of camera you have. You have to get your lighting right. You have to get your room set up right. Now, I did not really tweak the lighting over here, and I'm glad y'all said it looks good. I just got the proper mix of colors. Shout out to my man, Marshall Fox. I think he has the most phenomenal color blend because he's a graphic arts designer, right? I kind of threw paint on the wall and it stuck and it looks great, okay? But that's the main thing. So the quality of it right now, and I think I might still have it on 720. Y'all can check the YouTubes. I don't know if I'm streaming at 2K. I may or may not be. But whether it's 2K, whether it's 720, whether it's 1080, it really comes down to your lighting and how the room looks. Okay, lighting is everything. Alexa, turn off soft boxes. Wait, did she hear me? Alexa, turn off soft boxes. Okay, it's about to get dark. Okay, she doesn't want to listen now. Sorry about that. Alexa's just acting. Wait, Alexa, turn off softbox. Yeah, okay. Sorry, she's not listening now. I got to reset her. But the thing is 2.5. Thank you, Mr. Kevin Junkie. His name is Lewis, everybody. This is my brother Lewis. Thank you. He's an expert on this. Go to his YouTube channel and you can subscribe to it. If you got questions, go to his YouTube channel, or you can IG him, follow him on IG. He knows what he's talking about with this stuff. So, James, you said I'm using Blackmagic Studio Plus and a Sony. Okay, A3, right? Great camera, but just not getting the quality I need. Thanks for answering my questions, bro. I'll keep studying. So one of the things that you may be doing that you might want to tweak, if you have the A7, the A3, Sony A3, right? If you have the A3, A7 III, I'm assuming. If you have the A7 III, that's a powerful camera. I don't think you need to tether it to your live streaming. Or you really need it on and off stand. But if that's where you got it, no problem, right? But make sure that you got it on the right settings, because that was the thing that used to frustrate me. First of all, make sure it's not on photo. If you have it on photo, it's going to look pixelated. If you put it on your movie settings, right, and you have it where it's, outputting the HDMI, then it goes into your computer. The only thing that could really jack up the look of what's coming through that camera is what it's looking at. So catch that, and everybody else who's listening, you might be lost with tech again. This is my sneaker preach. The picture has to look good to your eye first. When your eye says this looks good, you point the camera and you tweak accordingly. And so I don't even know why my lights are not. I'm just going to do it here manually, but I just want to show you and display for you what happens if your lighting's not right. First thing is the camera over my head right now that's lighting me, I'm going to shut that off. So now we got this one problem. So now notice the light problem that we have, because I'm way back here and I didn't really set my lights up to be back here, but you're not really seeing me back here. Now, you still got color. That's because of the hue light bulbs. That's because of, the lights around the room. My wife, she made sure I add flowers and stuff in the room. I made this thing over there. You put your little plaques or something or your paintings and stuff on the wall. And my neighbor made this beautiful table. That's a part of, oh, your stuff looks great. It's not because the camera's that much better than everybody else's. It's just what you're showing is something dope. Now, that light over top here, so you can see which light that is. I'll show it to you. Hang on. Kevin, what's going on, bro? There's a light right over top of me, and I have that to shine on the table to illuminate the people. Now, my challenge for Thursday with the 4 women sitting at this table is those 2 lights at the desk, I'm going to have to turn them and aim them over here. Now, I do have one more light, and Alexa's just not working with me, but let me try. Alexa, turn on stand-up desk. Okay, she listens. Notice how much brighter it got in here. I'll show you what just happened. The light over here. So here's my hand over here. This light over here at my stand-up desk, that light throws light around the entire room because it is a lantern light. And so now when we go back to this front camera, I'm a lot brighter here. Also, the person that would be sitting over here, there's a lot more light over there. Okay. I like the mood, so I'm going to turn that back off. But once again, it's going to take you a minute, James, to play around with your lighting. Now, if it's a technical problem, you just got to, look again and make sure that your feed is coming in right into your computer. If the feed's not looking good into the computer, that would be 90% of what the problem is. So make sure that you have your HDMI cord. If you have a cam link, especially for Sony, put it on movie mode, put the cam link on there, draw it out. Don't use USB. And here's the thing you don't want to get caught up in. Do not get caught up in everybody else's shortcut. That's the Keith Pelzer sneaker preach on tonight, y'all. Don't get caught up in everyone else's shortcuts, because their shortcuts may not work for you. Okay, shout out to Heather Creates, Tom Buck's wife. She uses straight USB. She ain't dealing with all of the great stuff that Tom's got. He's got the Sennheisers, and he's got more mics than me. And he understands audio and tech and all of that, but she simply uses USB and she sounds wonderful. She has a simple camera and she looks outstanding. She's on IG. as well. Her name is Heather Create. Okay. Mr. Camera Junkie, you can put a tag in there, but she looks great. I'm shouting these people out so that you can see some of us are so into it, we're going to go above and beyond. But there are people that are like everyday other people that just use simple stuff and they look great. Tap into seeing that if they're only using a USB, why do they sound great? And you'll catch it. So yes, James, shout out to you. Like you said, you want to, you're going to check and dial in and just, do the research to find out. That's what I did. I did the research to find out what the problem is and kind of dialed it in. But my goal is to share to everybody else because I'm going to do me. I'm going to be me, and I can always do something. Shout out to Irvin Fryer. He's my big brother. I kind of mentored him with this stuff, but his setup is actually him. Okay, but the standards are, okay, bro, what camera you using? I'm using Sony's. Okay, what lens is that? I think the Sigmas are great. I would start with a 16 millimeter, get a 30 millimeter or the 56. Okay, now with the zoom lens, I recommend to people just go ahead, pony the money up and get a 18 to 50 Sigma lens. It's a 2.8, but trust me, it'll do you great if you can't get all the other different lenses. Okay, people. So these are the secrets. I'm going to give them up. You don't have to go to a training class or whatever. I just can't walk you through it. But if you got any kind of know-how on your own, I can give you the tape for a lot of this stuff. Okay. And I don't mind doing it. Now, Deborah, what is going on? So such great advice, Keith. Love your setup. Love your lighting. And wait a minute. And the lighting behind the love sign. Wait a minute. Is that, what it is? I got my softbox in the way, so I can't read everything on the screen. So let me go up here and put it on the screen so I can see exactly what you said. All right. Okay. Love your setup. Love your lighting behind love sign. Okay. What lighting are you using there? Oh, wait. So let me see. Let me see if you notice, because I'm gonna hook you up. So Mr. Jib, let's go to the Jib and see if we can get over. Turn to where the Rodecaster Pro is. No, you're going the wrong way, bro. Wrong way. Let's go over here. Okay, yep, he's going there double time. So let me just see. So the love sign over here. So Deborah, talk to me real quick. Are you talking about these two lights over here? If you want to know what that is, here's the tape. Everybody, you ready? Okay, let me double tap up here. I'm going to look into the camera and I'm going to give up the tape. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get over here. Okay, so here's the tape. Those two lights right there are Home Good put together lights. And what I did was I had the Godox, the WAN lights, okay, the LC, I think the 500 color. And the problem is the batteries die on them real quick if you leave them plugged in, right? And so that over recharging kind of kills the battery, whereas they're really made to charge them up. They're charged and then you use them for video shoot, photo shoot, whatever. Well, I'm live streaming, so I turn these things on, but after a while, the constant charge, I think it kills the battery. So now they don't work without being plugged into the wall. So I use them basically as stationary lights. So what I did was, because they just look like lights sitting in a room, and my wife wanted me to make the room look pretty, I got these little glass things right here from Home Good for like $10. And then I got these little flower things here, and I stuck the light in it right there because I knew it would throw some illumination to get the room looking a little bit, you know what I'm saying, is adding the color there. And I can change the colors on these. So it's Christmas. Let's go green because it's Christmas. So, and the Eagles won today, of course. And because we're 12-1, sorry, big shout out to the Eagles. I can just pop green on here if I wanted to, change it to blue, whatever. But now I threw them in there to illuminate. And so if you notice how it looks aiming this way, it's got not, and I put them up hot on purpose. And I did the same thing with this guy over here on the floor. So that's in a wider vase. And I hope that answers your question, Deborah. All right. So Brian, you're in South America? Come on, bro. Sorry I can't go to the Africa trip with you, man. I would love to get back over to the motherland, but I can't make it, man. Those dates, I can't make it. That's a long time out of town. Wait a minute. Is Deborah over? Somebody's over in, okay, South Africa, I think. Deborah, where are you at? I'm trying to figure out. So wait, Toya, you said I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds great. Toya, I'm really just kind of like answering some tech questions and tweaking the room a little bit. I like the fact that you said that. Thank you, Toya. But if you have any tech questions, I'm just on here answering. Yeah, Molly Boneway. I hear you, Brian. I'm just actually just answering some tech questions and setting up for a podcast with my friend Dr. Veerda Jackson. That's going to happen on this Thursday. All right. And it's going to be piped to Voice America. So where you're at, you're in South Africa. See that, Brian? Deborah, I think I told you. So Brian Jenkins, that's in the comment section with you, Pastor Brian Jenkins, he was the reason why I had my first trip to South Africa, to Johannesburg and Pretoria and Port Elizabeth in South Africa, and we were there for almost 3 weeks. It was an outstanding, wonderful trip. I really needed that, and so yeah, I'm used to that weather change and that time and all of that. So I need to rent your room for my podcast, Faith and Fashion. Toya, yes, let's talk. Okay. I'm trying to do two things. If I can fit it in the schedule, if we sit down, we talk. If it works, you're welcome to the table. And then then if it's feasible, because it's a video and podcast setup. And then the next thing is for anybody that has the space and you're just struggling with your setup. If you are local, I'll be happy to help you out, and you can do a consult and we can kind of retrofit and see what you need. Now, for all the ballers and you just trying to do a super studio, I can recommend you to people to do your whole project, okay? But for me, I can kind of prescribe what you can do to up your sound. Now, because of my spirituality, I don't believe in hustling people. So I want to tell y'all this. It is really not that hard. This piece that you see right here on, let me get back to it. There's a piece that I have in this room. That beautiful little piece right there that's sitting in the middle of the love sign, that is called a Rodecaster Pro. If you take and get that Rodecaster Pro, right, which most of my buddies in the comment section, they actually are, because they have gas, they're looking to upgrade their Rodecaster Pro. So this is not a hustle in a negative way. It's actually a positive way. You are fine with the Rodecaster Pro. That is the Rodecaster Pro 1. And a few of my buddies, they're upgrading to the Rodecaster Pro 2. Hear what I'm saying? You don't even need that. Let me show you the Power Ecamm so that you can still see me and see what I'm trying to show you at the same time. Now, which camera do I have on me? Y'all hang on one quick second. I'm trying to see which camera did I put? Wait, people. Okay, camera, I think, is that one on me? Okay, yeah, so you can still see me. Right here where my black Crocs are, right here. These are called Soyez boxes. This is a wonderful investment for a rich sound for your microphone. The only issue that I see that most people will have is my room is not soundproof treated, right? I have my mics tweaked for outside noise and to give a tight sound on the inside, and that is an investment on, from my music career, an Apollo system that actually is kind of expensive, and you can put plugins and stuff in there to kind of kill the noise. So right now, if you notice, I'm doing my fingers, but you don't really hear it. So watch this here. You can barely hear that, but you hear it, right? If I move my fingers over here, I'm actually snapping, but you don't hear the snap because I have processors working on the back end that's going to filter out that noise because I'm not in a soundproof treated environment. Now, for anybody that you're in your house and you have a quiet room, you may have to make the investment for plugins and stuff to kind of tighten your sound up if you want to do it from home. Now, Toya is professional and she has a whole podcast and stuff. And if you're on that level, yes, that's why you rent time out in a professional space, because you want to stay focused. You're the star of your show. You got your stuff all set up. You just want to get in and out, record. You don't want to do all of that and have to worry about technical this, that, and the third, wiring it and all of that stuff. You want your home to be your home. So you go into a studio to record. Now, somebody that this is what you're trying to do, like you, and you want your own setup, that is an investment. I have to go see a brother in about 2 weeks that, he came over and he wants to do this in his house in his own way, because he ain't going to do it like me. But he wants to do it and I'm going to hook him up, but he wants it for himself and that he's going to make the investment. Let me see. Listen about tech is like someone speaking in tongues. Exactly. Listen, Brian, it's not real hard, but it's not for everybody. Deborah, can you spell that box for your XLRs under the table, please? Yes. You know what? Oh, I don't have my daggone keyboard over here. It's Soyuz, and that's Soyuz. It's called Soyuz, and it's called a launcher. So if you go to Instagram right now and type in Soyuz launcher, they hand make these and they send them to you, and you basically take your dynamic mic, plug it into it, and it's going to give you a boost in sound. Now, again, you don't need it, Deborah. You don't need it. But if you want that, let me use a good word, that juicy, rich sound, that's what it's doing. Now, I do have processors working on the back end that's giving you a little bit more rich of a rounded sound, but it all begins with that box. All right. Yeah, it's about past my bedtime. And so I'm trying to get in before the clock strikes 12 here. So shout out to you, Deborah, and to Brian, who is abroad, and to everybody that was on watching. I hope that I helped you on tonight. And I will do my sneaker breach tomorrow. Okay. But it's about teams and it's about fellowship. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow, and I'll probably jump on IG and do it. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can inbox me, DM me or something like that, and I'll try to help you where you can. So God bless you all for whatever you're trying to do, your podcast, you're reaching out, fellowships and all. The world is in a messed up place, but honestly, it's not as bad as we think it is. Bad has been bad for as long as we can remember. Since the beginning, right? Since the fall, those of us who believe in, what Genesis tells us, since then, everything has had its jacked up times, but we are able to make environments better where we are, our love for one another, and that will not fail. I believe that, and that's what's going to bring us through. Everything we've been through with the pandemic and what have you, we've had some hard times, some rough times. There's a lot of killing going on, people dying every day. But you know what the constant thing is that really helps those who are here today, surviving, and even those who lost loved ones? It is love that basically carries us through when nothing else that we have helps. So for those of us who have some kind of faith and belief in something or someone higher than ourselves, it robs us of everything that we see and allows us to tap into basically looking at the man, the woman in the mirror, and then also having love and respect for others enough that we cross barriers, we cross lines. We don't have to scrutinize on what this one did to that one and who was more offended, whatever. There has to be a place in a moment of equilibrium in love, right? And then we can address, yes, this is what happened. This was oppression. This was this, that was that. These people are hated on. Those people will get treated this way. We can do all of that. But if you don't have love, you can never even begin to address or even have any kind of hope for after we're hurt. That'll preach right there. I just did it. It's the hope after we're hurt, because the biggest problem most of the time is people want to be heard and people are trying to suppress the voice. Once the voice comes out, where are we going after we heard the voice? What's the road? Even if the road is long to get there, even if the healing is going to take a long time, where's the end point? What is it supposed to look like once that healing has taken place? I hope y'all still with me. I'm off of tech, but I'm talking right now, testifying. Where are we landing the plane at after we go down to this route? So even if the conversation, we need to holler, we need to yell, we need to express ourselves. Maybe somebody gets offended, maybe somebody gets hurt, but where is the end point after it's done? After you said what may hurt my feelings, after I said what you may not wanted to hear from me, but it's the truth, or we all have our truth that we believe needs to be heard. The question is, where are we landing the plane? And if we can have hope that we're landing the plane, that in some way, shape, or form, there's a unity to be had, even in an agree to disagree, that if we're stuck on the same island, we're not trying to kill each other, even though we can't actually reconcile the belief of something, can we exist on the same island enough in love to say, we can get through this? I care enough about your survival, you care enough about mine. All right. So I hope that has helped somebody. I forgot which camera I'm looking at. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, wait, which one am I looking at? I don't know. That's the downside to this. So everybody, don't get caught up in multiple cameras. Have the cameras for what you need it for. So this is not a bougie thing. It is because I have it set up for a certain job to do. All right. So if I can help somebody as I travel along, then my living will not be in vain. Now, hopefully they will not cut me off. But I'm just so used to playing Paris Bowen's song, and that is Stay. It is one of my favorite. And yes, thank you, Mr. Camera Junkie. I appreciate you. My real name is it's made up. To everybody that you see in the comment section that's off of YouTube, subscribe to their page. It's not going to hurt you. You can turn the alerts on or off, but it helps all of us who have a YouTube page. If you have a YouTube, just put it in the comment section, and people, it's not going to hurt you to subscribe to it. If you're watching me on Facebook right now and you have not subscribed to www.theconvos.live, please hit that. It's with a K. Go to my YouTube, find me, and just hit the subscription button. It's not going to annoy you. You have the right to turn off the reminders so you don't have to hear my mouth, hear my voice, but your subscription will help. We appreciate it. So God bless you all and have a wonderful night. I'm going to have to play. I got to play Stay. It is a habit of mine. I got to do it because it's a shout out to my boy Paris. And I'll show you guys the microphone over here. So right here, see, this mic is on now. I had this muted. I'm going to mute the mics in the back. So notice the sound got a little bit tighter now, because if I keep those mics open, my voice is going to bounce around the room and it's going to get back. But now to show you where I'm at, I'm over here at the desk and I got the sound. This mic is over here. And I'm coming through that because I had to get close enough to see, because I didn't have my button set to play my wonderful song. And it's called Stay. Paris Bowen's, ladies and gentlemen. And we out on this song as I jam through. Yes. Sing, bro. Drums, please. This song means so much. We lost Paris last year. God rest your soul.
I want you to stay. Stay with me. I want you to stay. Stay, don't leave. I want you to walk with me. I want you to walk with me. Cause I've been searching for so long to find someone to share my heart with, Lord. And I have taken you for granted, and I can't afford to lose you, my love. I want you to talk with me. Hey, I want you to talk, yeah. Talk with me. Hey, I want you to stay.
Michael Lloyd, I see you, bro.
Stay with me.
That's our boy Paris.
I want you to stay.
The late Paris Bowman.
Stay, don't leave.
It's on iTunes. It's on iTunes, man.
'Cause I can't settle for a life without you, Lord. I know
Lewis is on tracking right now.
you are my reason, my inspiration, and I am willing to change all my ways. Oh, 'cause I can't settle for a life without you, Lord. I know I can't survive. No, no. You are my reason, inspiration, my inspiration, and I am willing to change all my ways. I want you to stay. I want you to stay.
Yo, Lewis, you see that tracking? Look, it's tracking.
I want you to stay.
Ooh, Mike, you hear that?
Don't leave. Stay with me. Be with me. Don't go. Don't leave.
Deborah, this song just kicks.
Yeah.
Come on, sis. Love you.
And I need you like the deer needs water.
Piano, Mike.
And I need you like the flower needs the sun. So stay. Stay with me. I need you. I need you. Stay.
Right, Carla?
I need you. I need you. I need you like the man on the lifeline. And I need you like the baby needs a
You see it, Lewis? It's tracking, right?
I need you.
Oh, it lost me.
I need you. I need you. Stay. Yeah. Stay.
Oh, okay, Deb. I see you.
You don't go away from me. Said I need you.
The Ronin would do much better. Sean, the Ronin would do much better. I tried it with the Weeble. It does much better with the Weeble. The thing is, it's hard to get the 1080p out of it. So, yep. Thanks, Carla. Appreciate you. Everybody, appreciate y'all. Peace and love. If I don't see you again, if I don't talk to you again, God bless you. I love you. And just know that we're at peace. All right? Peace out, everybody.